And we're back. Before the break, I was going to ask Malik, what are some of the things that you find that's unique about dating transgender women? Like if you were just telling me about your experience and saying, you might not know this, or you might not know that this goes on. And I'm just saying, just in that particular thing, like,
Wow. That's a good question.
Oh, good.
I never actually admitted this, but I like, maybe because I'm already attracted to beauty, so to actually see somebody like, wow, and to know that they came from that to that, I don't know.
Wow.
That's a transition.
Yeah, that's and then I meant to something else too. It's like there's a somewhat, I commented yesterday and I said something about somebody, but I was talking about me. I was talking about people rebelling. Sometimes you do things and I think it feels good knowing it's a wrong to others. If that makes sense in any kind of way, but
let me see if I heard what you said. Let me see if if I'm going to say back to you what I think you just said. Tell me if I'm right or wrong. You said first thing that you like the fact of seeing the actual process when you have this beautiful woman in the...
Not the actual process where I have to see it from the beginning to the end, because that's eternal. I don't need to see that.
Right, but I'm saying, knowing that
it's a destination.
That's what I was saying.
Because I never said I've been around, but I've seen them all. And And for me to see somebody and make me go, wow.
Right.
You went from... Right, I did say, that's what I'm trying to say. I'm just saying, you went from here
to actually see that, and then hear a conversation, because I'm not even gonna lie, I don't even realize I could be sitting there talking to somebody like 5-10 minutes, and I don't even realize I'm interviewing them. And I'm trying to see, is it like, so if it's natural, if it's this and that.
Wow, ladies, did you hear that?
You understand what I'm saying? No certain words came out, this and that.
Right.
And then I'll sit there and then I'll know like what type of relationship it's going to be.
Right.
Like do I proceed or do I, you understand what I'm
saying? I get it. The other thing that you said that I want to make sure I understood it right is...
I kind of like it because it's wrong.
No, yeah, but let me tell you what I think you said. Like, you kind of like it because it's wrong, and I think what I took from that is you have an extremely beautiful woman on your arm, but there's something that a lot of people wouldn't know about. There's a mystery, there's something about this extremely beautiful woman that's fascinating. That would be, honestly, would just put it that way, it would be fascinating to me. Like, you know what I'm saying? If I'm sitting here with a complete, I'm gonna get ratchet, dime bitch with me, you know what I'm saying? Excuse my ratchetness, you know what I mean? And you got a complete dime next to you, but people don't know what's really going on with it. I think that's fascinating. I think that would be for anybody.
That's why I'm saying it was a good question, because I asked myself, I actually asked myself one day, I sometimes try to answer questions that I never even
would ask, right?
So I tried to answer that one day. I was like, yo, why them? If somebody asks you this, like, why them and not just a woman? It's just something that's just, I don't know, it's a uniqueness.
I get it. I totally get that. I totally get that. You know what I mean? I mean,
that's why I get offended.
That's
why I get offended at times. I was speaking yesterday about what somebody may call like a training chaser. There's a training chaser at Chase. It could be somebody that just starting to transition to, it doesn't matter, it has no morals or nothing. But me, it's not me just that I'm fascinated, I respect the process. I respect. Do you understand what I'm saying? Well, I respect. I even respect where they came from within. I understand their struggle, and I understand what they go through with the parents. I know more. Yeah. And sometimes I talk to some and teach them about what they're going through more than they know, because I've been around it. Or I go and I ask questions. One of the first questions I always ask somebody when I meet them is like, when did you know?
Right.
How's your family? How's your father? I ask them questions, I compare notes. And the reason why is because I know if I talk to somebody here, her story is not her story. You understand? Her story is not her story.
Right.
But I have a great better understanding now, especially after Stacy passed, is because what I wanted to do is I wanted to get deeper into it. I wanted to know, it's a shame that she's been going on 3 years now, but I'm learning more about her.
All right, then just to recap, tell us, if you don't mind, tell us a little bit about Stacy.
That's Stacy's someone that I consider my wife. It was the love of my life. I dealt with her for 7 years, which is like 1,000 years in the trans community. We lived a heterosexual life. I came home one day from work from doing a double and I found her dead in an apartment. And I'm still, to this day, it's going on 3 years now, 6 days from now, and I'm still trying to repair my life from it and trying to recuperate it. It put me through a lot because people say that I did it, and people still, with the whispers and this and that. There's a lot of things that happen in my life because of me and Stacy's relationship, and not only that, the outcome or the after effects of it, and I'm just still trying to repair, the aftermath, you know what I mean? That's it.
That's what's up. Thanks. Great. Thanks for it. And like I said, once again, if you want to comment out there, or if you have anything to say about this experience, anything to say to Malik, definitely hit us up. You can leave the comments in the comment section. Make sure you like and subscribe. That way we can reply to you and hit you back as well. That's kind of wrapping it up for me. We wanted to, I wanted to take it into a little lighter material just before we end out this part of the interview. And so you've kind of said a lot about your experience with, transgender women. I think for the audience out there, for the transgender women that may be watching, I wanted you to just say straight up, what kind of lady do you like? I know it's a complete setup.
I think for anybody to say that looks don't matter, I think they're lying. They don't have to be the most beautiful person, because you can be the most beautiful person and open your mouth, and I just can't stand you. But I like a lady. I like somebody that but that's in anybody, even in straight relationships, whatever. See, if you always ask me what I like in a person and my mate, I can name 5 or 6. I always settle for 3 or 4. Try to change. You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So, of course, honestly, I want somebody that I can, be a friend with. And that's something I learned. I learned in some of the relationships I was in, it seemed like it was a job.
Wow.
It seemed like I was punching in, punching out. After a while, you get tired of coming to work.
Right.
Call out a couple of times.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And that's why I searched for somebody first that I could actually share secrets with and everything like that. I say that because one of the worst things is to be in a relationship and you think your friends or your mate's friends know them better than you do.
Oh yeah, that's a very good point.
That hurts because you don't know even if you even know the person you with.
Yeah, it's like for me. I guess my opinion is annoying more than it hurts. It's like it just gets on my damn nerves. These bitches again. Right. You really get on my nerves more than anything. We are going to be a little bit preemptive, and we're going to wrap this session up before we start our next one. I want to thank Malik for this part of the session. It's going to get a little bit more fun because my boy Quinn has to jump in. This is definitely a tag team. So I've had my side of it, and I'm so glad we got a chance to talk about it.
Yes.
Also, people, make sure you put on your calendars that the Philadelphia Trans March is coming up. Is that this weekend?
Yeah, this weekend, October 12th at Love Park at 3 o'clock.
Awesome. We're gonna plug that. We're gonna leave a link in there for you to get at too. Also, some of the stuff we talked about, some of the articles we mentioned, and some of the sound bites that you may not have had. If you haven't had a chance to hear them, will be in the links as well. And we're gonna wrap this part of it up and continue on the other side with